Hello and welcome to my channel. This is a new project I'm doing. Um, I'm going to try to chronicle the transition from male to female as clearly as I can. This means I will be posting a video every day, even if it is short, telling you and showing you what these hormones actually do. So, without further ado, here is some introductions. My name is Serena Marvel. I am 24. I live in the Kansas area. I hope you enjoy my channel. The reason I'm doing this is because I've seen a lot of YouTubers, transgender YouTubers, do a lot of fluff pieces. They do a lot of pieces showing you what it looks like halfway through, or a little bit towards the end, but I've never seen a YouTuber start their chronicalization early on YouTube, showing you what it really looks like. There are far and few channels like that. Here's a warning. I am not loaded. I do have a job of my own, but I don't have the kind of equipment to do clear videos. So my computer webcam is what I have. My message is my own, but I want to show you what it's like day in and day out living this life. So let's get first off. I've been on hormones for around 10 days now. Some of the first signs you notice, some of the first symptoms you do notice, your skin gets clearer. You see a change in your mood. This is kind of actually really weird. The first time you're experiencing it, your mood shifts. Like, I used to be a very angry person. Now I kind of find it harder to be angry. I also find it more difficult to stay angry at anything for prolonged periods of times. I have noticed I am more emotional though. So it's kind of weird how those two balance each other out, how I'm more emotional but less angry. I think I'm more in tune with my emotions at this point in time than I am with my own anger. That used to be the only emotion I was in tune with. Now I'm more in tune with like sadness, happiness. Happiness is a good one now. Like, I used to not be able to feel that very often, but now it's kind of a lot. There's not a lot of physical change right now. Now let me be clear. If you're just starting to transition, from my perspective, there you will think there are physical changes. There will be some muscle aches, some breast area tenderness. It'll start to feel really weird. You'll squeeze them and they'll feel really pillowy instead of really muscly. There'll start to be some little I want to say growths underneath at that point in time. Now this could be just my genetics kicking in. At this point in time, I do know a lot of my genetics, a lot of my family, they're big-breasted females, so I could get lucky on that front. But other than that, there's not really been a lot of physical change, which is normal. You're not going to see a lot of physical change within the first couple of days. As you remember, puberty did not happen overnight. This is a puberty process that will help you transition from one gender to the next. It's going to take time. And if you have patience and the willingness to make sure it gets done correctly, change your life around, and change your habits, you are in for a good time. It's going to be fun. I suggest, if you are thinking about transition, if you are on the bigger side, I do suggest going on a diet beforehand. I have done that myself. It does work, especially if you are bigger. What they're going to do when you have your first doctor's appointment to get hormones, they're going to take your blood. Alright, now they're looking for things like heart disease, liver stuff, that kind of stuff. That's what they're looking for. And they're just trying to make sure you're healthy. Now, if you have this history in your family of like liver disease, heart disease, don't be alarmed. There are lifestyle choices that you can make to reduce the risk of any of these happening to you. For example, you don't drink. You completely cut alcohol out of your life. I would recommend that, especially if you're going to transition. Alcohol can interrupt and interfere with hormones. As you do know, it is not recommended you take medication and drink at the same time. The same goes for hormones. This is actually, I have in my hand right now, is Spiro. Spiro is a T blocker. It blocks testosterone. Now, when you take this, it has a kind of a minty taste, or at least that's my interpretation of it. A very minty taste. It tastes kind of weird. And let me show you how big one of these things are. That's how big they are. Now you have to take 2 of those a day. I take both of them in the morning because they do make you pee a lot. So if you take them in the morning, you can get usually all that business out of the way pretty early, and it doesn't affect you at work, if you go to work, or at school, if you go to school. The next one you'll be on is estradiol or estrus, depending on what your doctor prescribes you. I don't know if you'll be able to see this at all, but this is what that looks like. They're tiny little fuckers. That's why you have to really pay attention when you're taking them, because they are easy to lose, honestly. Hormones are awesome, especially if you've been waiting for a long time. A lot of us in the trans community have waited a very long time to get hormones. What I would suggest is taking a look at your own lifestyle before you get hormones. What can you change? What can you improve? How is your sleep schedule? Do you have a history of heart disease, liver damage, liver disease, alcoholism, drug abuse in your family? Take a look at those. See where you can change things up. It is better to have insurance if you are going to transition, or have a parent or guardian that has insurance on you. Because Spiro can cost around $63 itself, with estrus or estradiol costing around $14. I know, at least with my plan, my insurance, I paid $14 for both. So it's very important to note, have insurance when you get your medication. As far as therapy goes, your therapist will have their own standards. Mine wanted to see me twice and asked for a bio, my life story in written form. So that's what she wanted in order to determine whether or not I needed hormones. And I got approved. So, bomb. Now, here's my little message, because you're going to see me every day uploading these videos about transition. There is something that you should note. Just because you are transitioning to female does not mean you necessarily need to fall within the traditional female stereotype. You can be your own person. Create who you are entirely based upon your own needs and desires. It does not mean you have to start dating men. And it does not mean by any means that just because you are transitioning that you should wear pink all the time. The best part about transitioning is that you can be who you are. You bring out who you've been. And the most important part of transitioning is not to lose that. So, I love you guys. I'm going to be posting every day from this on. And I'm going to tell you what it's like every day. Day in and day out. So you're going to see a well-chronicled transition. I think this is a lot better than posting transition videos where you can edit. This is unedited. This is the real me. You're going to see it. Again, my name is Serena Marvel. I love you guys. And y'all have a great night.